Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Got another question for you. Okay, here's the scenario. You're going out with this guy. You've gone out on 2, maybe 3 dates. Seems to be some great chemistry. Seems to be into you. He's calling you. He's texting you. You know, there's a lot of banter back and forth, and you really seem, that you're on the same page. Okay, and then you don't hear from for a day or two. What do? Do you start panicking? Do you start calling up your girlfriends going, I don't get it. What's wrong? All men suck. Because your action, what you do in those moments, ultimately determines what is going to happen in that relationship. See, because here's the thing. Okay? If a guy goes out with you a few times, in his world, he's not in a relationship with you. He doesn't owe you anything. Okay? So if he's calling you, it's because he wants to in those moments. And just because he doesn't for a little while, doesn't mean that he doesn't care and doesn't mean that he's not interested in you. Now, a woman who is secure in herself simply knows that and simply sits back and says, okay, haven't heard from him, don't know what's going on in his world. He might be in a ditch somewhere, okay? He might have been hit by a bus. He might be in the hospital. And because we're not in a relationship, he really doesn't owe me that. Where a woman who is insecure will sit and go, oh my God, what happened? He doesn't like me. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be with me. Because if I was him, I would find a phone somewhere. I would drive to my neighbor's house. And that's the key. Ready? He is not you. Okay. Men tend to look, think, and act differently than women. That's just the way it is. We've been brought up. We have different filters. And so once you understand that and you learn not to take it personally and you sit back, you simply allow him to show you if he's interested in you. And I'll give you a scenario. I went through the same exact situation many, many years ago. I gone out with a girl 2, maybe 3 times. Okay, things were going great. Now, I was just out of a relationship. I was just out of my engagement, okay? So the last thing I wanted to do was rush back into a relationship. I had no problem being in a relationship, but I wanted to make sure that I got into a relationship with the right woman for the right reasons. So I was taking my time getting to know her. So after 2, 3 dates, she called me up one day because, I was busy. I was living my life. And again, I was contacting her regularly, but not according to her terms on what I should be doing. So she calls me up and basically reads me the riot act, like, what's going on? Where are we? Where's this relationship going? And I was like, whoa, time out. What are you talking about? Relationship? I barely know you. I'm getting to know you. And I said, and this was the God's honest truth, I said, this relationship is now going nowhere because what I feel is you're more interested in being in a relationship than being in a relationship with me. And see, that's the key for a man. A man is the same as a woman who says, I don't want another relationship. I want to be in a relationship with the right woman for the right reasons. So let me make sure I sit back just a little while and really get to know this person to make sure that they're emotionally mature, they're emotionally available, and they're the kind of partner that I'm looking for if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her. And that's what you need to understand. So going into this panic mode, and I'm saying there's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable and go, what's going on? This is unusual. But in the very beginning, when you're not in a relationship and going there and giving it the meaning that he doesn't care and he's not interested in you will very often work against you. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, when a guy is interested in you and he's a man and he's looking for a relationship with you, he will show you consistently by his actions. And here's the thing. There is no rule book that us guys get. We don't say when you're interested in a woman, you should text 5 times a day and you should call every day and you should spend every free waking moment in your life with her. And if you don't, she's going to think that you don't care about her. Okay? That's your stuff. And if it's your stuff, you got to deal with it and you got to meet it head on and you got to look at it because acting from that place is what scares the good guys away. And I know that sometimes it's a little blunt and a little honest, but I do this because I want you to understand is that there are a lot of great guys out there and they're just as wary of the girls, the insecure, needy women who are simply looking for somebody to fill up a void in their life. We don't want that as men. We don't want to be a void for someone, to fill a void. Okay, we want to be in a relationship where a woman values us, loves us for who we are as a man, and appreciates us. And when you do that, then we'll walk through walls, we'll call you, we'll text you, we'll do whatever we need to do. But just realize it'll be coming from our hearts. And if it's not according to your time schedule, it doesn't mean that we don't love you, we don't care about you, and don't want to be with you. So I know this is, some of that hard hit home stuff, but it's the truth. This is how it works. And if you're going to create a great relationship, it's best to sit back and really understand this so that you can make the right choices and decisions that ultimately help make it easier for you to create the result you desire and deserve. So I'd love to hear from you. Mirror time. Let's be honest. Do you do this? You know, if a guy doesn't say everything perfectly the way you want to do you go into panic mode? And worse, do you start criticizing him and making him wrong? Because the worst thing you can do to a guy is tell him how much he sucks. What man wants to be with a woman who tells him how much he sucks and what he's constantly doing wrong? Trust me, none of us want that. Just like you don't want it. So go ahead, take that mirror time and really look back at your life and get honest. Do you do this? Do you tend to panic when things don't go exactly the way you think they should in the very beginning? And go ahead, put your comments, feedbacks, and questions in the box below. I'll see you next time. Much love.